Hi, guys, and welcome to the 17th episode of the Women in Nautica podcast. We are here fresh in the middle of summer in warm Croatia in June, but we also have a great member today joining us from Ireland. We have Lucy Hunt, the Ocean Impact Director. Lucy, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Great to be with you. It is pretty warm here in Ireland as well, which is surprising, but it's a lovely sunny day out, and I'm sure plenty of people are heading to the beach today.
Yeah, exactly. And I think if we revert back to the cold and rainy winter days we had, I think we can at least have some appreciation for the sun while we're melting.
Yeah, exactly. It's welcome here for sure. Yeah.
Perfect. So, Lucy, once again, thanks for joining. And just for an introduction, for the people who don't know you yet, can you tell us a bit about yourself, your educational background, and how it led you to where you're currently at?
Yeah, sure. Thanks. I'm a marine biologist from Southwest Ireland, and I grew up in a family-run bed and breakfast right next to the ocean. So the ocean was my blue backyard, and I even had a cat that used to come down and rock pool with me. I would bring my cat down to the rock pools with me when I was a kid. So really, the ocean has always been part of my life. We learned to surf. We were out fishing with our cousins and parents, and it's just always been with me. So it's given me great memories and still does. I still have some of the best times with the ocean. So it's really fantastic. Then what I did then, I suppose I went on and studied science, then realized I really just wanted to study marine biology, and I changed then into a degree in marine biology and zoology, and I did a master's in marine environmental protection, and that was all at the University of Wales, Bangor. But every summer, I would make money in my family's business to take at least a month away getting experience, like internships and volunteerships in different sorts of areas. So it could have been the Indian Ocean and coral research, or the Pacific Ocean as well. And just getting the experience in like education and research. So that was really important to me, I think. And then when I left university, I worked with a government body managing beaches, the blue flag beaches in Ireland, and I would have run them for the whole country. But I was based in a city in an office, and I knew I didn't really like that. So then coming from the country, it's kind of hard to move to the city sometimes, especially if you're ocean orientated. And then I ended up working offshore, well, working in my family's restaurant, which I think in Croatia probably a lot of people do as well, right? But
Indeed.
working at
Yeah.
home in the family restaurant and then working offshore. And I was very lucky to actually work in the Adriatic for 6 weeks on an offshore project there as well. So I got to know Croatia, and in my heart, there's still a little bit of my heart in Croatia. So
Oh,
it's
marvelous.
so yeah, I worked offshore, and then after about 5 years of working offshore, I kind of said, "Oh, I think I should do something a bit more at home in Ireland." And I set up a marine awareness research and activity center called Sea Synergy. And from that, I was working with that, raising awareness, connecting people with the ocean. And then the job came up as a marine educator manager, education manager for the ocean race. So I went for it because they needed someone to develop their education program. And I got the job, and I have been with the ocean race ever since. So it's been amazing since 2017. I started the first iteration of the education program, which has expanded now, and we have a new manager, Rebecca White, working on that. But yeah, it's grown into 17 different languages we have, and there's three different programs that we have. We have the Champions for the Sea program, and we have the Generation Ocean program, as well as working with World Sailing on a sustainable sailing program as well for youth.
Amazing. That sounds great. So it's a lot of bringing young people also back to the ocean and educating them how they can take care of it, right?
Yeah, so Champions for the Sea, especially, it's about saving Wisdom's world. So Wisdom is a Laysan albatross who is our mascot for the ocean race. And it's all about saving Wisdom and her friend's world, which is, of course, is the ocean, and then tangible things that we can do. And our program really is all about providing educators and facilitators with the resources to help teach young people. So there's worksheets, there's booklets, and there's lesson plans as well for people. And so it can be used in any sort of group or community setting as well. And they're award-winning resources because they've been recognized for their contribution in environmental education.
Amazing. So we should translate them in Croatian if they're not already translated.
They already are
Ah,
translated in the
perfect.
Slavic languages because one of our stopovers was Montenegro last year, and
Ah,
then we translated to the Slavic languages. Yeah.
that's great to hear. And coming back to your career, so we could say that now you have the best of both worlds, from marine biology to marine industry. But what do you see as the knowledge most applicable from marine biology in our industry?
Yeah, I think coming with a marine biology background is definitely beneficial. And I suppose I also have a hospitality background. So, when you join all of those things together in the marine industry and in a sailing event, it can really help towards working to certain deadlines, working in intense environments, those types of things. I have memories of working in the kitchen in my family restaurant, and it brings me to the summits when I've been working in the summits, and you have set deadlines, times to work to for certain people being able to speak at a summit, and it brings back that same sort of memories of getting things ready and out for customers and things like that. So I think, if you have different experiences in your life, uh, all of that. And I always say within catering or tourism or waitressing, those things I think serve people very much in any industry that they move into. So it could be maritime or it could be business. I think those things stand to you coming from a hospitality background as well. And the marine biology then really what helps with the joined up thinking from climate and climate impact and climate challenges and actions and bringing the ocean into it because the ocean has been left out for so long when there's been climate conversations.
Yeah.
So now we're really able to do that a lot more. And, we have our climate COP, but now we have the ocean COP with the BBNJ starting. And we were one of the co-founders of the Ocean Pavilion at COP in Egypt a number of years ago as well. So, it helps bring in the ocean more. And I think having an ocean person as part of a team within industry is very important because it brings another lens and another perspective and a bit more of a joined up thinking when it comes to industry as well.
Yeah, that was a great explanation how really from any type of work you can take your knowledge and your skills and apply it to something new.
Yeah,
And
for
when
sure.
when it comes to your educational program, which is now, as you mentioned, translated in 17 languages, and I'm sure it will be even more than that, I think that its impact and reach will be even greater. You already achieved quite a significant stage of social responsibility. So, what is your main driver in this process?
Yeah, well, I suppose like we say we're racing for the ocean. And when we have a race and a platform, you know, we should use it for good. And we want to use it for ocean health and creating better ocean health. And one of our main drivers is the UN Ocean Decade Challenge 10, restoring society's relationship with the ocean, as well as many of the UN Sustainable Development Goals. So we, as a race and as an events platform, can help restore society's relationship with the ocean, whether that's helping people understand the animals that live in their local ocean or how important the ocean is because the oxygen that everybody breathes is generated from the ocean, you know. And so we offer these different immersive experiences and education programs so that people can connect better with the ocean. And then in due course, hopefully look after the ocean better as well.
There are a lot of resources available already, but sometimes it's difficult to get the message through. What do you see as the main hurdle when you're trying to get the theory out in practice or maybe even apply it in the industry?
Yeah. So some of the main challenges, I think, is getting the resources out to the teachers. So teachers are often looking for resources. So it's getting it to the end user, but they sometimes don't know what might be available. So we need to make sure that the education departments in each of the host cities that we go to, or the languages that the programs are available in, are aware that this is a resource around ocean literacy that teachers can use and that they can promote it. And I know teachers are already super busy, so sometimes they're a bit worried about taking something new on. So that can be a challenge. But once they know that it actually delivers on curriculum and it tells them in the start of in the opening page of the education program and educators booklet, with the lesson plans, what curriculum it actually touches on. So, you know, it's quite easy and straightforward. If you're looking for something on maths, history, environmental science, you know, you'll find it there in the educators booklet and what lesson plan to use. So those are some of the challenges, I think, getting it out there to more teachers. So if you have any teachers listening, or anybody who has any kids in school who might like to learn a little bit more about the ocean, then, you know, they could take on the learning program from the Ocean Race as well.
Oh, that's great. And we will definitely share also, as per usual, this podcast through our newsletter. So maybe even if there's some educators in our newsletter community, they will be able to get this information. So that's amazing.
Perfect. Yeah, no, that sounds great.
And you already mentioned a bit what your role as the director entails. Is there maybe something else you would like to share? What makes your work interesting and dynamic on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, so my role as the Ocean Impact Director with the Ocean Race really is all about driving impact and change for the ocean with our partners, with new partners, internally with our team, with our host cities, and all of our stakeholders, really, and to see how we can help people understand how important the ocean is. And as I say, restore society's relationship with the ocean. So whether that be one of our partners doing a lunch and learn with their employees around the world. We can do, I deliver ocean talks for them, or if we want to do train the trainers with teachers so we can help them facilitate more ocean education. And then, of course, working with our science team as well, looking at how we can expand on our science program in on board the boats. And then we also have our summits where we try and nudge policy around ocean health and ocean protection. And I suppose we're really looking at the marine protected areas and 30 by 30 initiatives to try and drive that protection so that we do see healthier oceans, or a
Yeah.
healthy, that we do see a healthier ocean. No, no plural oceans. There's only one ocean. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, definitely every business and every initiative needs to develop, especially when you mentioned the 2030 agenda, but also the Sustainable Development Goals. And in terms of that, how do you see actually whole environmentalism develop in the years to come?
Yeah, I think right now we're in a bit of a tricky time. For sure, there's definitely been some knockbacks when we look at some of the bigger entities in the world. So, yeah, we're in a difficult time right now, but I know that there's still a lot of work happening, and we are going to continue the good work that we're doing. And many of the stakeholders we're working with, you know that just because one major country isn't contributing right now, there's still plenty of people on the ground, the community work that's happening, so we all need to support each other. And I think, from the ground up and the top down, we can manage to continue the good work. And we need to do it more than ever, even if people are lagging behind. We need to keep driving for the positive change and positive impact.
Yeah, that's true. And even if it seems to be difficult, a minor step as an individual can create a positive domino effect. And we just need to work on more people doing the positive domino effect, right?
Yeah, totally. And I think, if you've decided to do something new or environmentally caring, that you should share it with people, whatever that might be. Share what you're doing because then you might inspire someone else. And I've even seen that, from small things you might do when you share it online, and then a friend says, "Oh yeah, I saw that post you did, and I started doing that too." What the ocean race is doing. And, it's inspiring real change, it's nudging policy, it's helping people actually change careers into ocean careers as well. So there's been a lot of influence that I've seen in the near 10 years that I've been working with the race now, where we've been able to influence people to care for the ocean more, which is great.
Indeed. And after all this talk about the ocean, now time to ask a bit more about time on the ocean. So, are you, Lucy, a boater yourself? And if so, what is your favorite boating destination?
I thought you were going to say it's time to jump in the sea because it kind of feels like that. Yeah,
We can
with
leave
the
that for the
heat.
last question or the last action.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's go jump in the sea later. So no, I love getting out in the water, in, on, under the water, and definitely being on a yacht and sailing. And so there's so many places that I love to sail. So I was very fortunate to work in Antarctica for 3 months on a sailing boat and living down there on a sailing boat, on a ketch. So for sure, Antarctica is up there. But the coast of Ireland for the wildness that it can offer and the amazing marine mammals. And then I would say the Adriatic. And it's not just because I'm talking to you, Anna.
Yeah.
It's because I went there on my honeymoon and then we went back for our 5 year anniversary sailing again. So it is really beautiful and very special and needs to be looked after as well, for sure. But the marine protected areas and the parks that you have there are fabulous.
Thank you. And we need to invest more in sustainability to keep them as they are, because, yes, the sea is definitely one of Croatia's most valuable resources.
Yeah, for sure. And it does get busy there, I hear. I'm lucky because every time we've gone is in September when it gets a bit quieter. But I do hear that it can be quite busy. And that's something that needs to be sustainably managed for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Because, yeah, the sea and the ocean, they are not a one time per year destination for some people, especially local inhabitants. It's an all year round thing that needs to be cared for.
Yeah, definitely.
And this brings me to my last question, and that is if you have a piece of advice for young people, or maybe even just women professionals who are looking to enter the marine world, what would you give as your piece of inspiration?
Yeah, I think it's to try different things. If you're younger, I would always say like the internships, the mentorships, those things are really valuable in trying to figure out what you want to do. And then, yeah, to see if there is a mentor or someone you really look up to and just reach out to them or join a mentorship like Women in Nautica offer or like the Magenta Project offer as well, because that can really help you on your next steps, whether it's for networking or just advisory. It's good. And someone is rooting for you and has your back as well when you have a mentor. So, yeah, don't be afraid to reach out. I think that's a key thing. And sometimes it can be scary if you want to change, but you probably will benefit in the future if you're following your passion and following your dreams.
Nice. And where can people follow you online? Where can they reach out and connect?
Yeah, so you can check out the Ocean Race on theoceanrace.com. And yeah, we've got all the different channels there. And my own Instagram, which I have to say I'm not a person who posts that much, is Lucy_Hunt, but that's LUSEA_Hunt. And yeah, definitely follow the Ocean Race because we've got two amazing races coming up. We're going to be doing a transatlantic, which is 50-50 gender crew, so half women, half men. And then happening in September. And then next year, we start the round the world race again. So that's going to be starting in January in Alicante.
Okay, amazing. Sounds very exciting, and we will be definitely following that. So,
That's great.
Lucy, thank you for your time today and all the knowledge you've shared with us. I hope people will have several great takeaways from this episode. And as always, follow us on our social media. On Instagram, it's WIN_Women in Nautica, while on LinkedIn, it's simply Women in Nautica. And of course, stay tuned for a conference this year on the 3rd and 4th of December in Porec, Croatia. All the information is regularly updated on our social media, but also on our program, which will be live in August. And yeah, Lucy, once again, thank you and have a great rest of the day.
Thanks so much, Anna. Great to meet
Bye.
you. Bye.